Have you ever heard a wild story and thought, that sounds like a conspiracy theory? Well, what if I told you some of the most unbelievable tales are actually true? Today, we read diving deep into the declassified files and historical records to uncover 7 conspiracy theories that turned out to be chillingly real. These aren't just wild guesses. They're documented facts that were once dismissed as paranoia. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew. We will now explore 7 declassified cases that prove some theories are more than just stories. Case 1. The North Korean abductions. First, let's travel to North Korea. For decades, the regime denied accusations that it was kidnapping foreign citizens. It sounded like something out of a spy movie. Japanese, South Korean, and other nationals vanishing from their home countries, only to reappear in the secretive state. The world called it a baseless conspiracy. But in 2002, Kim Jong-il made a shocking admission. He confirmed that North Korean agents had indeed abducted at least 13 Japanese citizens during the 1970s and 80s. Their purpose? To train North Korean spies in Japanese language and culture. The victims were forced to live new lives, their pasts erased. This admission sent shockwaves across the globe, proving that the paranoid whispers were, in fact, a grim reality. Case 2. The CIA heart attack gun. Next, we look at a weapon straight from a James Bond film, the CIA's heart attack gun. During the 1975 Church Committee hearings, which investigated abuses by U.S. intelligence agencies, this clandestine weapon was revealed to the public. The device was a modified pistol that fired a tiny dart made of frozen shellfish-derived toxin. The dart could penetrate clothing, melt inside the body, and induce a heart attack, leaving behind only a small red dot on the skin that could easily be mistaken for an insect bite. The toxin would denature quickly, making it virtually undetectable during an autopsy. The official testimony confirmed that the agency had developed a nearly perfect assassination tool capable of killing without a trace. The conspiracy was real. Case 3. The Tuskegee syphilis study. Perhaps one of the most infamous and unethical human experiments in American history is the Tuskegee syphilis study. Starting in 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service enrolled 600 impoverished African American men in rural Alabama, 399 of whom had syphilis, for a study on the disease's natural progression. The men were told they were receiving free health care for bad blood. In reality, they were given no effective treatment, even after penicillin became the standard cure in the 1940s. Researchers deliberately withheld the cure to continue observing how the disease ravaged the human body, leading to blindness, insanity, and death. This horrifying study continued for 40 years until it was exposed by the press in 1972, shattering public trust and revealing a dark chapter of government-sanctioned deception. Case 4. Operation Northwoods. Imagine the U.S. government planning to stage fake terrorist attacks on its own citizens to justify a war. It sounds like the plot of a thriller, but it was a very real proposal called Operation Northwoods. In the early 1960s, at the height of Cold War tensions with Cuba, the Joint Chiefs of Staff presented a plan to President John F. Kennedy. Declassified documents outline a series of false flag operations. These included sinking a U.S. warship, orchestrating violent terrorism in American cities, and even shooting down a civilian airliner and blaming it all on Cuba. The goal was to create public outrage and garner support for a full-scale invasion. Thankfully, President Kennedy rejected the sinister plan, but the fact that it was seriously considered at the highest levels of the military is a terrifying thought. Case 5. Project MKUltra. Now, let's explore the shadowy world of mind control with Project MKUltra. From the 1950s to the 1970s, the CIA conducted a top-secret illegal human experimentation program. The goal? To develop techniques for interrogation and mind control. The agency tested a horrifying cocktail of methods on unsuspecting American and Canadian citizens, including hypnosis, sensory deprivation, psychological abuse, and the administration of drugs like LSD. Many of these experiments were conducted at universities, hospitals, and prisons without the subject's knowledge or consent. When the project was exposed in the mid-1970s, the CIA director had already ordered most of the MKUltra files destroyed. But the documents that survived paint a disturbing picture of a government agency operating far outside the law, using its own people as guinea pigs. Case 6. COINTELPRO. While the CIA was experimenting with minds, the FBI was busy with its own covert program, COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program. From 1956 to 1971, the FBI engaged in a series of secret and often illegal projects aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, and disrupting domestic political organizations. Their targets weren't foreign spies, but American citizens. Groups like the Civil Rights Movement, feminist organizations, anti-Vietnam War protesters, and even individuals like Martin Luther King Jr. and Muhammad Ali were monitored, harassed, and discredited. The FBI used psychological warfare, forged documents, and planted false media reports to create paranoia and internal conflict within these groups, effectively silencing dissent and manipulating public opinion. The program was a direct assault on free speech and political freedom. Case 7. The government poisoning of alcohol. Finally, we come to a story of poison disguised as public safety. During the Prohibition era in the 1920s, the U.S. government became frustrated with the widespread illegal production and consumption of alcohol. Bootleggers were stealing industrial alcohol, which was legally produced for things like solvents and fuels, and redistilling it to make it drinkable. To stop this, the government ordered companies to add more potent poisons to their industrial alcohol, including methyl alcohol, kerosene, and other dangerous chemicals. They knew that people were drinking this stuff, but they did it anyway, hoping to scare the public into sobriety. The result was not deterrence, but death. It's estimated that at least 10,000 people died from this government-poisoned liquor. It was a deadly public health experiment carried out in plain sight. From state-sponsored kidnappings to deadly secret weapons and unethical human experiments, history is filled with conspiracies that were proven true. These 7 stories are just the tip of the iceberg, a chilling reminder that sometimes the truth is far stranger and more terrifying than fiction. They show us that questioning official narratives isn't always paranoia. Sometimes it's a necessary part of uncovering the truth. So, which of these true conspiracies shocked you the most? Are there any others you think should have been on this list? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey into the shadows as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Stay curious.